All right, so today we're going to focus on two-way tables. And two-way tables are a way to compare two sets of data. Okay, two-way table. Okay. Comparing two sets of data. The example that we show here is the results from a survey. Students, they were asked if they play an instrument, if they play a sport. Okay. Now, if we see here, if there is not a total column, we are going to put a total column and a total row here. So we have plays an instrument and does not play an instrument on one side, and then we have plays a sport and does not play a sport. And it's filled in for us. So in this case, 9 students play a sport and play an instrument. 14 students play an instrument but don't play a sport. 19 students don't play a sport or not play an instrument, and 33 students play a sport but do not play an instrument. And we're going to have totals here. So the total amount of kids that play an instrument, I would add 9 and 14, I get 23. They do not play an instrument, I would add 33 and 19, 52. And then I'm going to also play a sport. 9, 32 is 42, 14 and 19 is 33. Now, if I add up 42 and 33, I'm going to get a number, and I should get the same number by adding 23 and 52. So if I add 42 and 33, I get 75, and I get 75. Then they're going to ask you questions based on this data here. How many students play an instrument? Okay, well, if I go to play an instrument, I go to the total here, and that would be 23. How many students play an instrument and play a sport? Play an instrument and play a sport. I'm going to see where they meet up, and that would be 9 students. How many students do not play a sport? Does not play a sport, go down. That would be 33 students. How many students play a sport but do not play an instrument? Play a sport but do not play an instrument. That is 33 as well. And how many total students were surveyed? Total would be 75. Okay? You guys are going to try number 2 on your own. So pause this video for a minute, see if you could fill it in, and then we will go over the answer here. Sydney randomly surveyed students at her school and found that 72 students ride the school bus, and 37 of those students buy lunch from the cafeteria. There are 19 students that do not ride the bus, but buy lunch from the cafeteria. 9 students do not ride the bus or buy lunch from the cafeteria. Okay, so now we have to fill in based on that information. So there's a lot of information given to us. Let's take 9 students do not ride the bus or buy lunch. So do not ride the bus and does not buy lunch, there's going to be 9 there. And we may need to do, like in the first one, we did some adding to get my totals. We may need to do adding or subtracting. So I took care of that. 9 students do not ride the bus. 72 students ride the school bus. 72 students ride the school bus. And 37 of those 72 buy lunch from the cafeteria. So that means 37 of those buy lunch from the cafeteria. Okay. There are 19 students that do not ride the bus but buy lunch in the cafeteria. Do not ride the bus but they buy lunch, 19 there. Okay, so I could figure out how many total students buy lunch by adding up 37 and 19, 47, 56. I could also find out how many students do not ride the bus by adding 19 and 9 and getting 28. Now this other stuff, if I have a row here, 72 plus 28 is 100. I don't know how many students don't buy lunch from the cafeteria out of this column. So 37 plus something equals 72. So if I work backwards, I have to do 72 minus 37 and get what's here. So 72 minus 37 is 35. And then 35 plus 9 is 44. And we just double check our numbers here. 56 plus 44 is 100. 72 plus 28 is 100 as well. Okay, so we have 100 there. How many students buy their lunch? Buy their lunch, 56. How many students ride the bus but do not buy their lunch? ride the bus, do not buy their lunch, 35. How many students do not ride the bus? Do not ride the bus, 28. How many students do not buy their lunch? Do not buy lunch, 44. How many total students were surveyed? Total has to add up, 100. Again, pause this video to try this example on your own, and then we will go over this again depending on time. We'll see what we got. Adam surveyed 120 random students in his middle school and asked them if they plan to attend the school musical. Of the 80 students who responded that they are attending the musical, 15 are 7th graders. Of the 46th grade students surveyed, 13 said that they do not plan on going. Only 10 8th grade students surveyed do not plan on attending the musical. Okay, 120 students total. Of the 80 students who responded that they are attending, 15 are 7th graders. Okay, already filled in. Of the 46th graders, 13 said they do not plan on going. Only 10 8th grade students said they do not plan on attending. So again, we have to fill in. So if I know that it equals 40, 6th graders going to the musical plus not going to the musical has to equal 40. So I do 40 minus 13, I get 27 there. Okay. If I know not going to the musical is 40 and 13 plus something plus 10 equals 40, I can go backwards and figure out, okay, 40 minus 10 minus 13 is 17. Okay, I can go across here. 15 plus 17 is 32. 27 plus 15 plus something has to equal 80. So if I subtracted those two numbers from 80, I get 38. And then 38 plus 10 is 48. Just double check that 40 plus 32 plus 48 equals 120, which it does. How many 8th graders plan on attending the musical? 8th grade, going to the musical, 38. How many 7th graders were surveyed? 7th graders, total, 32. How many 6th graders plan to attend the musical? 6th grade, going to the musical, 27. So we can answer these questions again based on this table. We are going to take it a step further on Wednesday's class, talking about relative frequency, but we'll get there later. Okay, so hopefully this helped, guys. Thank you.